What's up, YeshGamers? Robert the Bruce here, and I've got something a little bit different for you today. Actually going to be doing a commentary. I know. These are rare, unscripted, just talking about my opinion of some stuff. Wild, right? We're actually going to be discussing the future of the Battlefield franchise, and this year has seen a lot of changes come around and kind of given a little bit of a taste of what the future holds. And I've been doing a lot of thinking about it. I'd like to discuss it. Now, before we get into that, what you've seen in this video, in the opening there, you saw the class I'm running. The CZ class, as I like to call it. We got the CZ805 as the primary, and the CZ75 as my sidearm. Both very, very fun guns. Not necessarily the best in the game, but excellent choices. And sometimes it's just fun to do little themed kits, and so that's what I'm doing here. A little note about my strategy, how you're going to be seeing me playing this game. When I'm playing Team Deathmatch, which is obviously what you're seeing here, I've got a few things I keep in mind. Always move. To get into the strategy tactic side of my videos, you know, even in a commentary, I got to give a few tips, right? Always be moving. Too many people want to slow down and camp out a spot or just be kind of still for a while. That is a bad idea. Team Deathmatch is fast and furious and in your face constantly. You sit still for long and you are just an easy target. Now, occasionally I'll sit back to get health or, you know, whatever if I think I'm relatively safe. Gotta love claymores. But overall, I stay moving as much as I can. Another little fun tip I like here, once you upgrade, you know, once you've leveled up a little bit at the very beginning when you first got the game and you unlock the bigger health packs, most people never look back. And you think, oh, well, the bigger health pack makes more sense. It heals more people, blah, blah, blah. I like to use these small health packs because it allows me to stay mobile. You pick them up like you see here. I can grab it and keep moving and my health regenerates. You don't have to sit next to it like you do with a big health pack. So the small one, even if I'm going into an area that I think is a hot spot, I'll throw a small health pack kind of in my area that I think I'm going to be retreating through, and then if I need to, I can run over it, keep on moving, and I'll be getting health back as I go. So that's kind of an interesting little tip there that works very, very well. When in doubt, if you don't know where the bad guys are, go wherever you don't see friendlies on the mini-map. Team Deathmatch maps aren't massive, and it's usually a pretty good idea that if you see a whole bunch of you know, little friendly blue arrows somewhere, there's not any bad guys over there because there's no firefights going on. But if you see a blank area of the map that's typically high traffic, you're going to find some baddies there. That's what I do. I try to stay away from my teammates actually a lot of the time and kind of ninja my way around, especially when I'm suppressed like I am in this class. Did I mention always move? Yeah, I'll throw that in again. You always want to be moving. So anyway, let's get on to the topic of the day that I want to discuss with you guys, and then of course at the end get your feedback in the comments as well. The future of the Battlefield franchise. Where do we stand going forward? What do we have to look forward to? Is this the beginning of the end, or is there a lot of years left with these types of games and the enjoyment we'll have out of them? Well, we know Battlefield has a rich history, with Battlefield 1942 all the way up, tons of various games along the way, Battlefield 2, Battlefield Vietnam, you know, you can go on and on and on with all these various ones, and a lot of people have their own favorite, all the way up to the recent Battlefield Bad Company 2, Battlefield 3, and now Battlefield 4. Everyone's got their favorites. I actually played the original 1942, a few of the random ones all the way up. And then, you know, the last several titles also, of course. And I've loved all of them. Had an absolute blast. They're a great alternative game for players kind of burnt out or not interested in Call of Duty. Or if you're on Xbox and you don't really care about Halo. Great alternative choices for you to choose. Huge maps, more players, different kind of play style, different kind of strategy. All kinds of good, fun stuff. So it definitely has a niche in the market. And the games have had their problems. No one can deny that, especially more recently. Where it kind of seems like more and more game companies rush a product to hit a deadline regardless of how finished it is, and then they just rely heavily on patching to try to make it work. But you know what? Regardless of what anyone can say about the Battlefield series, and especially Battlefield 4, I've played it since the night it released. I was there at midnight, played it from day one. I know better than anyone this game has had a whole lot of issues. Thanks for the tags. But I will say this, the DICE team is dedicated to supporting their products, and I really, really appreciate that. When I played Call of Duty for many, many years, that's actually where Yesh kind of got its beginnings. I never really felt like the same level of support was there. Big, massive glitches that, you know, would really cripple the game. At one point, never even got fixed on some of the titles that I played. That you know, I'm sure there'll be plenty of people to argue with me about this, and I know Battlefield has all kind of problems, but you see patches all the time. DICE, regardless of what you think about them, they are heavily involved with the community, and they're always trying to fix their stuff. Did they rush Battlefield 4? Yes. Is it laden with problems that they're still battling with today? Yes. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's still a fun game. I enjoy playing it, regardless of if sometimes I glitch or want to cry about quote-unquote netcode or whatever it is. I have fun playing this game, and that's what it's all about. Here's where my worry comes in. They could continue releasing games like this, and, you know, it'd be frustrating, etc., but if they kept supporting them well and they kept the fun factor there, I'd keep playing them. But I am worried about the yearly releases. That is where I think they're taking a dangerous turn as a gaming company. Every series eventually gets stale, regardless of what kind of game it is. Eventually that series burns out. If it's really, really popular, they can get a lot of different sequels out of it, but they all eventually get stale. You start going to a yearly release program, and this is going to speed up the process. Having a game that you just start to feel like you're getting used to, and then suddenly you have a new game to deal with, like that just kind of wears you out a little bit. With Battlefield 3 and even with Battlefield 4, we're coming up on the year anniversary here, and it's like, man, I'm really feeling comfortable with the game and enjoying myself now. Why would I, you know, want to immediately go out and buy the next copy? I loved having Battlefield 3 for 2 years that I could stay devoted to it the whole time and really just master that craft. And you go to a yearly release and it kind of just feels like you're rushing everything. And that being said, the titles can feel more rushed, I think. And we definitely don't want that. Shoot, with Battlefield 4 and the issues it's had, having to hit a deadline, we definitely don't want to have this getting more rushed than it already is. That's just no good for anybody. And at the end of the day, we know it's clearly a ploy just to get more money. Now, I'm okay with capitalism. A business is there to make money. I don't, for any reason, for a second, think that DICE exists just to make a bunch of us nerds happy in a digital world because they're all about, you know, being charitable. They're there to make money. I get it. That being said, though, blatant money grubbing is just really a turnoff. You go to yearly release games, and it starts feeling like the DLC gets rushed faster. You start feeling like patches maybe aren't coming quite as often. And even if they kept the support level up because they alternated companies releasing the games or whatever, it just really feels like, hey, we're here for the money. We don't really care about the consumer anymore. And that's a very dangerous place to be. Ultimately, that is what developed YeshGaming into being what it is today, because I was a hardcore Call of Duty player. Pretty darn good. I was better at Call of Duty than I am at Battlefield, as odd as that may seem. But I just got so fed up finally with buying a Call of Duty. Every month they had a new DLC. I couldn't even keep up with them and learn all the maps half the time because there'd be a new one to come out later, and then you don't want to play the old one anymore because it feels weird. Eventually I just got sick of it, and I was like, you know what? These games are all the same practically. They're just churning out the same old crap over and over again, and I'm kind of done with this. And so I was like, let's go try something else. A buddy at work said, oh, you should try the Battlefield series. And I was like, okay. I played 1942 back in the day in Vietnam. So I went and picked up Bad Company 2, fell in love with it, grabbed Battlefield 3 that released a little bit later, and, you know, never looked back. And because of that, YeshGaming, I used to put out Call of Duty videos that nobody cared about or watched, and I switched over to Battlefield, gained some traction. The community grew, and it is what it is today. So, in that sense, I guess I can say thanks to COD for turning me away, because it really helped the channel grow. But at the end of the day, I don't want to see that happen with Battlefield. I love this series, and I've had a lot of fun with it over the years, and it kind of scares me to see that it might be moving that direction in the future. Now, will I be getting Battlefield Hardline? I've been asked this question quite a few times. I think yes, I probably will. Will I be getting premium with it? Probably not. This will be the first Battlefield since I've really gotten into it that I'm not immediately getting premium, pre-ordered, you know, ready to go. I don't know. I don't want to just keep throwing my money at this series when the future is kind of uncertain as it is. I want to wait and see how the game develops. I want to see, you know, shoot, Battlefield 4 still has life in it left, I feel like. I paid for premium here, so I don't want to abandon it. So I'm really going to kind of put the brakes on a little bit. Now, this is not me saying I'm abandoning the series or dissing EA or any you know, the Battlefield franchise as a whole. Not by any means. I'm just kind of slowing down. I'm proceeding with caution at this point. I love Battlefield. I hope it doesn't get ruined. but this is kind of the beginning of the end. I've seen it happen with a lot of other franchises along the way. They start pumping out games faster to make more and more money, and it just kind of takes everything down as a whole. So the question is, what do you guys think? Are you picking up Hardline? Are you getting it right away? Are you staying in 100%? Are you not phased by this, or do you think this could be an issue? Are you worried that this might be the beginning of the end for Battlefield? Leave me a comment below. I want to know what everybody thinks. So, of course, I talk about this with my friends online quite a bit, but I want to hear, more as a whole. What do you guys think about the future of the Battlefield franchise? That's my thoughts. Appreciate you listening. Hope you enjoyed the gameplay, and I'll be reading your comments below to see what you guys think. Thanks. I'll see you in my next video.